Let's cooking. Today I'm going to make soup. Okay, it's winter, it's cold, and I love soups. These are enough reason for me to make this soup today. So the soup I'm making today is a vegetable soup. There is no meat in it, so it's vegetarian, but I'm going to use the chicken broth. You can always add your own vegetable broth or whatever you like. So in this pan I already put my oil, so it's hot already, and I use grapeseed oil, and to this oil I always add a little bit of my homemade ghee. So the ghee goes here inside. I mix them well because I like the aroma of the ghee. So here first I'm gonna add my onions, my chopped onions. I have already cut and chopped all of my vegetables, which I tell you later one by one what they are. So I always add a little bit of salt to my onion because salt absorbs the juice and cut the cooking. You see already steam is coming out. This soup is super delicious, it's yummy, it's full of vitamins and good minerals. It's very fulfilling. It's good for lunch or dinner. So I highly recommend. And you can always eliminate those things you don't like and add whatever you like. So it's up to you if you want to do anything. I just wait a little bit so that the onion can be softened a little bit. So in this vegetable soup, let me tell you briefly, I have, beside the onion and garlic, which is the base for me, it's no-brainer, you have to have it. I have chopped carrots, I have celery stalk, I have potatoes, two kind of squashes, I have cabbages, green cabbage, tomatoes, and I have white beans. And I have a ton of different spices which I'm going to add to this soup later on. Okay, when your onion start to get softened, you add the chopped garlic. So I had 1 onion and 2 cloves of garlic. You always wait for the onion to soften and then add your garlic, because garlic is dry and burn very fast, and when it burns it tastes very bittery and ruin the taste of the food. So if you notice in Indian cuisine, in Middle Eastern cuisine, they always at the beginning add all the spices, because you have to mix the spices with the hot oil in order to bring the aroma, the flavor, and the good enzymes in the spices. And as you know, in American cuisine we always have just salt and pepper, but when you travel to the east part of the world, you come up with just a dozen different kind of spices. These are the one who add the flavor. So I'm going to use my regular black pepper here right at the beginning, and I'm going to add it at the end also. I add the salt already, so I'm going to use my turmeric, my favorite turmeric from Dina Lim. So I add my turmeric. Then I have my paprika. This is the smoked paprika. To this I am going to add my curry. This is the curry powder. So it's a mixture of different kind of spices. Curry. And then this is my hot pepper. I'm gonna add, I'm just building flavors, so a little bit of this works for me because I really don't want very spicy. It's up to you if you like much spicier, so add it. This is the spice, I bought it actually from the store and I find it Very, very aromatic. It was the mixture of the curry, coconut, and some other spices. So over here again, I have different kind of curry. I made it at home. This is my homemade curry powder. As you see, I'm just mixing this all together. And this is my red chili roasted, smell divine. I'm gonna add this one too. And then I made this one, which is a paste. So this paste is the mixture of turmeric, fresh turmeric, garlic, and ginger, and I add some oil to it. I grated all of them together and I add some oil so it lasts longer. But you have to keep it in the fridge anyway. And you can keep it for at least 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then I made actually this one too. So this is the chili pepper. I mixed it with oil. So the color is just so gorgeous. It's beautiful. I'm gonna add not too much, just a little bit. Again, if you want it spicy, it's your choice. You can add more spices. And at this time, I always add my tomatoes. Actually, a little bit of paste of tomatoes. It's the tomato paste I add. And I think this is enough. I can add more if I want. So in this case, you add the flavor, you build the flavor and the color. And you start to add your vegetables to the dish. Always start with the hardest one, which is the carrot in this case. All of them is almost like a cup. So the measure is the cup or like 3/4 cup. So I add the carrot. I wait for a few seconds. Oh, I forgot my caraway seeds. I'm gonna add it right now. The caraway seed has lots of benefits. It's a great antioxidant. It's super tasty. And I'm gonna add it right now. It's very aromatic. It's the whole seed. So I'm gonna show it to you. And I add just a little bit. Okay. And now I'm going to add the celery. It's like a feast of colors. Gorgeous. And it smells divine. Smells so good. Okay. And just make sure all of them are coated with this beautiful color of the spices. And then I add my potatoes. You can use the Yukon potatoes or russet. I like Yukon. Mix it. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. I have two different kinds of zucchini. So the green and the yellow. And I'm going to add that one too. This is a very rich soup. It's very fulfilling, hearty. And as I said, it has lots of vitamins and minerals and the flavors and antioxidants, because you have the spices, you have the vegetables. And I'm going to add the broth, which is really good. Okay, and this, I'm going to add actually first my tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, to bring even more color. And my cabbage. I chopped the cabbage. There you go. So you have some vegetables. You can always add kale if you like, or chard, Swiss chard, any kind of other greens like spinach. It's up to you. Even chopped parsley, which I'm going to add chopped parsley later as a garnish, but you can always add. You know what, I'm going to add a little bit more of this caraway seed because I want to see it. Maybe a total of half a tablespoon. Okay, super easy. I'm going to add a little bit more salt at this time. I usually use sea salt. I had a video about the salts. I highly recommend you watch that video because you want to use the best quality of anything and everything, and one of the most important one is the salt. And I already cooked some white beans. I use my instant pot. I cook my own. I don't use cans, so I just soak my bean overnight, and then the next day I drain the water. I cook it with the fresh water, and there you have it. It's a fresh, and you know you don't need to add salt, and it's not canned. So I add this one to the mixture. Look at the color, it's beautiful. Okay, at this time, I add my broth. So my broth is chicken broth. You can always use the vegetable broth. This broth, I highly recommend you to find it. This is the organic Swiss vegetable bouillon. It's the powder. I use a tablespoon of this in my soups or anything. I don't want to add any like a chicken or beef broth. I use usually this one, or for my friend family, they don't eat meat. I always use this one for them. So I highly recommend you get this one as well. And I'm going to add anyway. I'm going to add a little bit of this because it is full of flavor. So I add like maybe a teaspoon. And to this one, I'm going to add my chicken broth. Let me just mix this one. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more of my tomato paste. You can always adjust if you need more color, more salt, more heat. You can always adjust it. Just start slowly and you can build it up. Okay, I'm going to add my chicken broth. You can use maybe 2 or 3 cups and then add extra water. It's up to you. As you see, the color is beautiful already. Okay, then I'm gonna put the lid back and let it cook, and I show the final result. Bring it to boil and then lower the heat. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so let's see. So as you see, it is boiling, the soup is boiling. The colors are here. The aroma is, my God, is in the air. So we have to wait at least 10-15 minutes. You don't want your soup to, like those squashes or the zucchinis get mushy, or any of the vegetables. You just want to wait for the potatoes and the celery and carrots to soften, but they're still somehow al dente, and they're coming together, and then you have some consistency in the broth. You don't want a very watery broth, so just you're waiting. I think 10 more or 15 more minutes would be enough, and then I can serve the soup for you. Okay, so the soup is ready. I'm going to serve it and show it to you how you can just serve the soup. As I said, you can add anything or eliminate any of these things if you don't like. You can even add any kind of pasta if you like to this soup. Okay, so And here I'm going to serve soup. You see the color, how nice it is. I'm gonna add a little bit of the juice. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, so at the end I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan over my soup. You can, again, if you don't like Parmesan, or if you're vegan, just eliminate it. Okay, and I have some chopped parsley, and I have some oil, olive oil, few drops of olive oil. Oil makes anything better. This is my olive oil. Okay, and I baked some bread today. I just toast some of the bread, and I'm going to serve them all together. And I'm going to taste my soup. Let's taste it. Maybe we could add some of the vegetables. It's yummy. It's so good. Please try this. It's healthy. It's full of nutrition. It's good for kids. Try it and leave your comments below. Take care. See you soon.